Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight, we write a finish to Week 12 with a good Monday night matchup between the Buffalo Bills and the Houston Texans. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading the charge will be their quarterback, always fun to watch, Deshaun Watson.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
Check. Watch 54. Hey, let's get in that hole. Hey, 55. Hey, watch that. Line 54. Stop it.
Now a first down throw. Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards there, get it up for a Texan first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
And he'll go down, but not before. We're getting this inside the 30. So defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And pretty good pursuit there defensively. He's brought down, no gain on the play. Second down coming up.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be fourth down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on fourth. They'll run with a big man. This is Adams. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop. Well, trying to be bold on the opening drive of the game, but that effort, it proves futile.
How many times have we talked with coaches where they've talked about taking the emotion out of their decision-making? I think that opening drive, if he didn't have it in his head to go for it before, I think that keyed into it. They were doing so well, and he decided to really establish something there. They didn't get it. Now they've got to make sure that they don't lose their focus.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Allen, Markevius Mingo in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. Allen off the play fake. And that's complete to Croft. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First carry for Carlos Hyde. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 17 on that one and a Bills first down. That time a little misdirection really seemed to fool the defense.
And think of it this way. From the time you're in high school, you're taught to watch film and pick up tendencies. Sometimes they can use those.
Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Zach Cunningham rolling in to get the sack.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Well, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And that one results in 35 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now Allen off the bootleg. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
That was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
Phillip Lindsay and the rest of the offense heading back out. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsay. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Lindsay. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They end up taking a loss on the play. Only person happy now, the punter. Gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
A punt of 46, a return of 5. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first.
Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Markevius Mingo in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. The Bills with a football as we start quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
He dumps it to Hyde. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Faking the give. Now Watson. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
The extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Let's go.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity. To make things happen.
Shake it off.
Let's go one more. Alert, alert, alert.
They start the drive with Hyde. And he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down. This might push him back further. Now, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
Allen going to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Devondre Campbell flies in to blow that play up.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And that's caught by Beasley. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A gain of 22.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
On 2nd and 9, Allen, and he finds Beasley complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 43.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. On 2nd and 12, Allen, he's got the hook up with Conley. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, both teams practice this situation, and this time the guys on offense won, and in a very nice way. What a run from that position on their own goal line.
Gave him some good breathing room.
Wonder now.
And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle.
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, 99 yards. And the Texans push further out in front. So how about that for a backbreaker? Again, 99 yards.
And how about the audacity of the play call? When you're backed up that close to your goal line, usually you're just trying to run some type of a wedge play, a quarterback sneak, a dive, anything to try and create some room and take care of the ball. But that's confidence in your offensive line that they'll protect the guy throwing it, and he finds his guy for 99 yards. I love what they just did.
So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. The Bills on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. To the air, Allen. And the throw there going to be incomplete. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Here comes Grant on the return. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Check back.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. That was excellent from start to finish, from the blocking to the running, just well executed.
And now let's look ahead because after that, how about a little play action, maybe a little bootleg, and get the quarterback out on the corner and give him a little run-pass option.
And they're right down here looking for 6. Out of the gun, Watson. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Now Watson. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Texans push further out in front.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
That's it, baby. We go work.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
Under 10. Under 10.
They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And a pretty good run, all things considered. Probably would have liked that in the first quarter instead of right now as the clock continues to run.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't.
Allen from the gun on third down. And able to find John Brown. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Cole Beasley the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
You kind of low. You better be afraid. Kind of low. Hey, what's that? Check Mike 54. Mike. Kind of low. It's just me. Hey, 59. Me and you. Check 50. Check 50.
The final shot before the break. Watson going deep for Hopkins. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Allen, rush coming, and he's taken down. Zach Cunningham in there to drop him, and that is the 7th time tonight that he has gone down. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Allen. He's going to loft one into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. They just look like they're having fun out there. Big lead. Here's another big play on the big run. I mean, they can't be stopped.
I'm a little bit older than you, as you well know, partner, and you tend to tell me that all the time. But it used to be a big-time song, and the lyric was, "Summertime and the living is easy." Right now, it's football time, and the running is easy for this crew.
This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll run with Lindsey. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. One more time with Lindsey. Yeah, this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Back to throw, Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did. Yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. A give to Hyde out of the gun. Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Throwing now is Allen. That's taken in by the tight end Perkins. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 11 yards and a Buffalo 1st down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
They run high. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
57.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. Got him in. It's Brown. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A gain there of 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Allen now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. A 10th carry for Hyde. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Allen to throw it. He's got it complete to Perkins. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 36. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 21. Allen now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Edwards now on 1st and 10. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. Here's 2nd and 9. Just a yard on that last run. From the gun, it's Allen. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Carlos Watkins, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
You can't stop me.
Back now in Houston. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Allen now throwing on 3rd and long. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Markevious Mingo in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Allen going to go on 4th down. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And this Texans defense stands tall. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
They'll go again with Lindsey. And again, this Buffalo defense there in run support to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Check, check. Lucky, 9. 9, go.
Watson off play action. He'll buy some time right. He can run for it, and he will. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Zach Cunningham able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Allen will look to throw for it on 4th, and it is incomplete. Covers that time by Aaron Colvin. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
On 1st down, Lindsey. He's got the 1st down inside the 10, and he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Phillip Lindsay, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Texans push further out in front.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Point after here coming up. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Here comes Josh Allen and the Bills offense back onto the field. And this defense, they came prepared. He's probably going to be seeing them in his sleep if they don't fix things quickly.
And that's not exactly what he wants to see in his post-game slumber. So they've got to figure out a way to slow things down a little bit. Some screen passes, some draws, anything to make the defensive front hesitate a little bit, think on their way back to the quarterback, maybe even a quarterback draw, some type of tendency breaker to change things up.
Exactly. Whatever the case, something to mix it up here. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Caught by Jones. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Allen's throw is complete.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
A.J. McCarron looking to throw. And this one caught by Beasley. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun, because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Now on 2nd and 13. Watson eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run. On 1st down, Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
19, 24. So don't say nothing. Go.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. The Texans on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is third down and 12. A shotgun snap for Watson, and that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw again on second down. McCarron. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
McCarron now 4 of 5 since coming on. It's 1st and 10. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Coverage that time by Aaron Colvin. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
McCarron again here on 2nd and 10. He's got it complete to Perkins. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. Now, this defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that a mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Ain't no such thing as a loss.
Another run by Lindsey. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside.
55, 54. I'm coming after you.
Out of the gun, Watson. And he'll get nothing out of that one. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Watson going to stay out there as they'll go for it on 4th.
Watch out, watch out.
They're going with Lindsey. He's got a 1st down past the 30. And finally taken down at the 36-yard line. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Houston, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, it'll be loss number 6 on the season for them. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in.